welcome to the Languages Pedagogy Podcast. Today, I invite you into a conversation that's long overdue. Not just about teaching, but about teachers. The kind of work we do when no one's watching, the hours that aren't counted, the love that isn't listed on a contract. This episode is called More Than a Lesson Plan: The Hidden Life of Teachers. And it's not just a title, it's a truth. To help me bring that truth to light, I sat down with Sol, an English teacher from Argentina, whose words cut through the noise and speak to the soul of what it means to educate. This is a part 2 series. This is part 1. In this one, we're unpacking the invisible weight teachers carry: the late nights, the unpaid overtime, the emotional labor, the resilience. What happens after the classroom door closes and the lesson plans end? But the real work continues. So, wherever you are, on your way to school, grading papers, or just trying to hold it together, this episode it's for you. So grab your cup of coffee, sit down, relax, and let's get started. English with Soul.
Yes,
That's the name.
that that's the name. That's the name of my creation.
That's really cool. That's your creation. Please, would you, first of all, welcome to the Languages Pedagogy Podcast. I'm really happy actually to have you as a teacher, as a person
hmm
with experience here, and to share with all the audience, with all the listeners about your
Yeah.
experience and about the topic that we have for today. So why don't you just start with sharing something about you? Tell us who you are, where you are, what do you do?
Okay. Well, thank you, Mike, for having me, for inviting me. This was completely unexpected for me, so I'm a bit nervous, but well, let's do it. Um, well, I'm Sol. Of course, that's my name. I'm from Argentina, Trelew, more specifically, which is a city in Patagonia. So here we are near the mountains, near the whales, near everything. So very cold, very windy. That's the season right now. And well, I'm an English teacher. I'm 26, and well, I started with this project more or less a year ago after I quit another one of my many jobs I used to have
Oh,
last year. And well, basically, I wanted to, or I wasn't really planning on all of this. It happened. It just happened in a way. Um, when I started having some problems at this place where I was working, um, I decided to try it out, teaching online
mm.
and well, focusing on adults. So it started with something really small, and well, today I'm most of my income comes from this. So
Oh, that sounds super cool. That sounds super cool. Well, that actually
yeah.
is gonna help a lot to the audience because the audience here in this little corner, it's basically teachers, young teachers, and teachers who are actually just coming on the way. The ones who are
hmm
gonna start something that you just cross, they're about to start. So maybe this is
hmm
gonna be a really good chance for them to learn a little bit from other teachers as well. So, wow, that sounds like you actually gone through many things here, huh? Many
hmm
schools there, a lot of experience there.
Yeah, and many things have happened this
Oh,
last year. Good things, of course, but other
not so
challenges
good.
too. So, yeah, not so good, but well, uh, I've learned a lot,
Yeah,
thankfully, and I feel
exactly.
like I'm a new person.
Oh,
2024 is not the same as now.
I can see. Well, that's pretty good. So I cannot actually wait to keep talking about it. It sounds like we have a lot of stories in the back.
Yeah,
So, well, it's pretty good actually to have you again. I think your experience will help us a lot. And for this episode, as I was actually telling you before, we can actually talk about more than a lesson plan, the hidden life of teachers. And I think this one is pretty suitable here,
Yeah.
since you have a lot to tell here. And to start with this one, let's go kind of straight there. Let's go to the point.
Okay.
What inspired you to become a teacher? What makes you think, hey, you know what? I want to be a teacher. This is the
Big
career that I
question.
wanted to
Yeah.
be. Yeah.
Okay. Well, actually, both of my parents are teachers,
Mm.
not language teachers. But well, they met when they were studying biology. So, well, they are biology and geography teachers. So, well,
Ooh.
I grew up watching them work, plan lessons, all of their friends being teachers too. And then when they divorced, their new partners are teachers too. So it's
Oh.
a teacher family.
Is a teacher family.
Um, yeah. So maybe that's a part of it. Um, and well, as I said, I was born and I'm currently living in Argentina. So of
Mm.
course, our native language is Spanish. Well, I studied at a language school, at an English school, many years, all through my teenage years. And well, high school finished, and I had to decide what I was going to do with my life. And
Exactly.
the only thing that sparked maybe something a little interest there was English. I wasn't sure about teaching, but I said, okay, let's give it a try.
Let's give it a try.
Well,
Yeah.
then during that process, I discovered that I liked it, that I love it actually. And well,
And there you start.
then
That was the specific moment in life that you was like, no,
yeah,
here's the career. But you
yeah,
never expected
exactly.
actually the career was gonna turn everything around, right? It's like, okay, this
No,
is the
no,
career I
no, no,
want.
no.
Everything was beautiful, and then suddenly you going little by little. It's like, hold on a second, something's going on here.
Exactly, yeah,
Yo, no, I,
exactly.
I, I feel you. I feel you. I think that is one of the things that we got all the teachers. All of us have actually gone through quite the same situation, maybe. Because I remember also, I was also working in Argentina. I had a really good time in Argentina, in Buenos Aires. It was really beautiful, but of course, there are things in school that goes a little bit against to what you are, to what teaching is.
Yeah.
And here's the issue. So, what is the hidden labor of teaching? Let's start with what's one thing people often misunderstand or underestimate about being a teacher? What do you think?
Mostly, I guess the amount of time or the amount of hours we work outside of the classroom. Um, I guess many people believe that what we do is only enter the classroom, teach our class, then we get out of there and it's done. No, I think actually we work more hours out of the classroom than inside of it. Not only planning lessons, but adapting material or preparing exams, checking exams, well, and more more
And
things,
more, yeah, yeah,
depending
yeah.
on, yeah,
Exactly. Well,
depending
well,
on
in
where
our
you're working.
career, for example, in our well, in our branch, which is languages in this case, I
Mhm.
think it's pretty hard because you got to actually not only evaluate speaking, but also evaluate other skills. Let's talk about writing. That's a lot job there. That's a lot of work there.
Yeah, and usually languages are an issue, I guess, for public school students. Many times, or most of them, they have, I don't know, this attitude, maybe because they are children or they are teenagers, or okay, when am I going to use English? I'm never going to live in another country, or I'm never going to travel to Miami or whatever. So it's like they don't understand why they need to do it or why it is useful. And well, many times it's difficult to get them engaged or
True.
interested in the subject in general. So I think that's the
True.
biggest challenge, at least here
Hmm.
in my country.
I think it's a challenge everywhere. I mean, you're actually telling us something that it's happening now. I mean, keep students, regardless of the age, let's say young learners or grown adults, extrinsically motivated. You know, I was actually talking to another colleague, Chilean. He's also actually working as a teacher in China, and he was actually talking to me about this extrinsically motivation, how to keep them engaged. It's also really hard. I mean, and the day by day, not only checking homework, preparing class, lessons, the lesson
Mm,
plans, my goodness, the lesson plans, but it's also that part. Keep the spark there, right? It's really
yeah.
hard. How do you, let's go back. You said that you were actually working in a high school before, right? In a school, but now you're just full time in your own school.
Almost full time on doing my own thing. I still have two classes at the school.
Hmm.
Um, and well, I am actually going through that, trying to keep
Move
them
on.
interested or engaged. Yes,
Hmm.
but that would be my idea in 1 or 2 years, maybe not work there anymore and just dedicate my 100% of my time to my project.
To your project. Got it. So, can you tell us or can you walk us through what a real day in your life looked like from the moment you wake up to when you finally stop working? A regular day for Saul.
Hmm.
What is it?
Okay. Um, it depends on the day, but usually my classes start at around 9, maybe 8 in the morning. Uh, Actually, my mornings are quite. I have some free time there. Uh, Tuesday and Thursdays are only full in the morning, which I work at this school. And then the rest, I have maybe one class in the morning, so I get up, uh, do some skincare, prepare a coffee because I can't start the day without a
Without a
coffee.
coffee.
Um, then, well, usually I get on my Instagram and do the hardest part, or well, the hidden part in this case of doing your own thing, answering
Yes.
messages or taking care of advertising,
Social media in
creating
general.
content, social media in general. Yeah. And then most of my classes are in the afternoon, uh, around 4 or maybe 5 p.m. That's when I start. So I have a couple hours in the middle to have lunch, go to the gym, and try to do something different, or maybe take a nap. That depends on the day. Sometimes I skip the gym and just stay at home and well do nothing, rest. But
Well, do nothing is
it's
all is
difficult.
sometimes really good to have it. And this episode is sponsored by Pro Club Languages at MikeEnglishOnline.com, where learning has no limits. Are you ready to take your language skills, teaching career, or professional growth to the next level? Whether you're looking to master a new language, prepare for international exams, or enhance your teaching expertise, Bro Club Languages is here to help. At MyEnglishOnline.com, we offer language learning for all levels and ages: English, Spanish, Portuguese, Russian, and more. English for specific purposes: business, academic, travel, and professional communication. International exams preparation: IELTS, TOEFL, CEFR, and beyond. But that's not all. If you're an educator, trainer, or aspiring teacher, we also provide workshops and seminars on pedagogy, educational psychology, motivation, classroom strategies, and innovative teaching techniques. Teacher training programs to help you stay ahead in the ever-evolving world of education. Expert insights on language acquisition, student engagement, and modern teaching methodologies. At Broad Club Languages, we don't just teach, we empower, inspire, and transform. Whether you're a student, a teacher, or a professional, we help you unlock opportunities, confidence, and success. Visit MikeEnglishOnline.com today and start your journey toward mastery, because learning is a lifelong adventure and we're here to guide you every step of the way. Ready to level up? Click the link in the description and join Pro Club Languages today.
Yeah. And so I usually work from 4 or 5 p.m. to 9 p.m. at night. It's sort of late, maybe not for us. It's sort of normal for us Argentinians. Many people finish work at that time.
Really late, yes.
But since I'm at home, I don't mind. I really don't mind finishing a little late, a little later, but having that gym break in the middle.
That's actually pretty
I'm
revitalizing
yeah,
there, right? It gives you a
yeah,
boost of energy to keep going during the day.
yeah, exactly. So then I come back, have a shower, and I can sit down quietly on my computer, prepare some mate, which is
And
our
keep
our
working, hold
typical
on, and
drink,
keep working.
and of course, yeah, and continue working.
Well,
And
with the
yeah,
mate. Ooh.
with the mate, of course. I don't have it right now, but that's our drink.
Yeah, tell me about. I have it actually here because I got some Argentinians friends living here in the same city where I'm living,
Oh,
and we sometimes gather and drink some mate. We got some mate and we talk a little bit about life in Argentina. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Well, that's a pretty busy day anyway. Yeah, you got some time, some spare time over there, but anyway, for sure there are many things that you do in between. It's not like the transportation or commuting from one place to another. That's also
yeah,
time. And
yeah,
that's
of
also
course.
thinking time. Because we as teacher, we're always thinking, what can I do later? Hold on, I have a class later. Oh, what can I do? I have this student. Oh, maybe sometimes it
Yeah,
happens,
and
right?
then also, I'm also at the same time, I haven't finished today's lessons, but I'm already thinking about what I need to prepare for next week.
For the next one.
So, yeah,
Oh,
but well,
gee.
teacher life, I guess. I
Y-
guess
y-
we are
there you
in
go.
that
I will give you
situation.
a fist bump there.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's the teacher's life. So, and this one actually takes me to the following questions. What are the some invisible, because they're invisible, tasks you do outside the classroom or outside your job that no one really sees or talk about? What are those
Uh,
tasks?
I I guess I'm thinking about um trying to find updated material or digital tools now that I'm teaching
Hmm.
online. So doing some research too on the latest trends, and also trying to connect this to my students' interests. So it's like sort of a combination of many things. And well, sitting down to prepare a class in which some grammar aspect is included, but also something fun, something in or a task in which they can speak or interact with each other, but that
Exactly.
is not boring. So many things happen in the planning
Yes,
period.
that's why the question goes, that's the invisible part. And that's what you were
Yeah,
actually telling me, oh yes, maybe people believe that it's just going in the classroom, do the class, and then the teacher is free, nothing else.
right. No, 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 no.
But there's a lot actually more things going on behind the scenes, let's say it.
Yeah,
Uh, and I don't know actually right now how the situation is in schools in Argentina, but I think it's mostly the western side of the world, the west. Some teachers even have to spend their own money by buying things for kids in the classroom or to decorate the classroom. I don't know about you've actually seen it, but back in the States, we actually have that situation that sometimes we have as teacher, we have to put our own money just to decorate our classrooms. How's the
it
situation
happens.
back
Yeah.
there?
Again, I think it depends on the school, on the social context, on where the school is located or the students' backgrounds.
Hmm.
But in general, it happens. Yeah. However, there is, I mean, in our salary, there's part of it that is called resources and I don't know what. So that money is for you to spend on, well, taking copies or markers, whatever you need for them to work in the classroom. It's not much, if I have to be
Of
honest.
course, of course.
Of course, it covers taking copies and, well, the usual stuff. If you want to create or do something bigger, like decorating the classroom, then that's on you usually.
Exactly. And that's the part that people believe that teachers are very rich. Or maybe
Yeah,
the principals of the school believe that we're very rich and that we can actually just spend from our own pocket, you know? And that's the perfect
yeah,
teacher. Some of them actually they actually think that we are the perfect teachers, and to be the perfect teacher, we need to spend from our own pockets as well. Some principals
yeah.
actually thinks about that and things like that, which is pretty sad. But I've actually had an experience, something related to it in another country as well. But it isn't your case, right?
No, no, no. I not any similar experiences,
Mhm.
or nothing similar to that yet, at least.
Oh, well, that's pretty good. Hopefully, you don't have to go through that.
No.
But but here's the other one. Of course, when you were actually working in a school, there's a kind of a psychological pressure there, right? Or emotional pressure, that emotional weight that you have to actually go to school. Sometimes you don't feel like in the mood, or you go with all the best positive vibes to the school, and then suddenly something happens and puts you down. How does that affect you, or how do you control
Um,
it? 'Cause-
that's the hardest part, I guess. This particular school, the kids are nice. There's a nice atmosphere. The rest of the teachers, we have like different friend groups. We get together
Mhm.
out of school. So this particular place is a nice one. Um, my previous boss was not
No.
uh the best, if I have to call it in some way. But that was actually not uh, a school, not a secondary or high school, but a language school, an English school.
Oh.
Those are the problem here for us English teachers. Uh, yeah, in
In what
general.
sense are they the problem? I mean, in a sense that they don't pay, because let's be realistic. Most of these training centers or institutes, English languages institute, the problem is that they want to pay very little, or they pay quite good, but they never pay on time, or they don't pay at all. That's another situation. What aspect are you referring to?
Everything, all of that, and other things too.
Oh, geez.
Usually,
This is this has to be
yeah,
like some sort of like a horror podcast.
yeah,
The reality of
yeah,
a
a
teacher.
horror movie. Yeah, the reality, exactly. Um, at least here in my province, that's, or in my city at least, that's more or less the situation. Uh, in general, these institutions, you get paid a little amount of money, not what you
Mhm.
should be paid, and also you're always paid under the table, let's say. Um,
Oh,
you don't have anything. You just get the money, cash, and that's all.
well,
So, well,
well,
that's, yeah, no retirement, no benefits, no
yeah.
security, no nothing.
The insurance,
So
social security, nothing. I said,
insurance,
thank you
yeah,
very much.
nothing.
You just stay with that, and whether you like it or not, take it or leave it.
Yeah.
That's it.
And we're not paid during the holidays in those sort of institutions. Here, the school year starts in March and finishes in November, December. So January, February,
No salary.
you don't, no salary, nothing.
Yes, that's a cruel reality. Yeah, yeah, I've seen that. Even though actually you're talking about in a certain aspect from Argentina, from the country where you are now, but throughout I said little, but kind of a huge experience as well, I would say, I've been actually checking that this is quite common in many countries or in the educational system itself. I don't know why people just want to pay so little to teachers, but at the same time, they want to have like the highest quality in teacher.
Mm,
And they don't recognize something and they just pay you, like you say, under the table, just
yeah.
take it or leave it, you want it or not. And you need the job, If you want to leave, you gotta work. You gotta have a
Yeah,
salary.
exactly. So I think they sort of take advantage of
Hmm.
that situation. And usually, you see young teachers in their 20s working there. So every new teacher ends up in one of these places
And they fall for it.
because you need it. They fall for it. And it's actually quite hard to get a job in a public
Well,
school. To get into the system, it's quite hard. So that's why most language teachers end up
in
in
these
one of
schools,
these
exactly.
institutes or academies. Yeah.
Well, yeah, and this is the problem because most of the teachers that actually go over there and the teachers who have some experience or are better qualified will never end up being there because there are other teachers who are the new ones that they accept whatever happens. I mean, whatever they offer, they will say, "Okay, yes, I want to go for that. $1 an hour. Perfect. I take it." And you're
Yeah.
like, "No, that's not how it works. What type of a
Yeah,
reality is
exactly.
that $1 an hour, $2 an hour?" I was like, "What can you do with that?" But they accept it. And then teachers like you or like any other teacher stay like, "Oh, okay, no job then. What should I do?" And then comes your mind.
Right.
I'm gonna open up my own school.
Yeah.
And that's
It
it.
wasn't exactly like that, but well, I had like some free slots last year, so I said okay. And also the economical, political, all the situation in the country was difficult last
Hmm.
year. Because we had a new president, and well, so everyone was adapting to this, and nobody knew what was going to happen in general throughout the year. So it was okay, take it or leave it, more more than ever before. And so I said, okay, I will try to fill in these slots with some online students. I just created my Instagram page and started doing whatever I could. I didn't know much about hmm, social media. No one helped me. I didn't take any courses or anything. So
And
was
that and
just
that's the
trying,
best
trying.
part of being a
And
teacher, huh? Whoa.
so, well, that's how I got my first two, three students. Then I opened a group. So four or five of them were having a class together on Zoom. And there I started to notice the difference in
Wow.
my income, especially. So I said, okay. And at the same
It's
time,
looking good.
yeah, looking good. And at the same time, some situations were happening at this place. And well, I ended up quitting in the middle of the school year.
Mm,
And I had only 2 weeks to try and, I mean, cover for all of those hours that I
yeah.
was working there. And at the same time, I had most of my work hours were there. So most of my income was from that place. So I had 2 weeks. I mean, the winter break here is 2 weeks. So I had
Yeah.
only that time to try and create something.
Everything.
And well, everything basically, because I didn't have much. And well, it worked in some way. Those 2 weeks, holidays that were not holidays, I worked 24/7, created different groups, well, ran some advertisements and posting content, everything. I ended up having around 30 students, 30 online students in
Ooh.
that first 2 or 3 months. So, well, I not only I covered that income, but I doubled it only in
Take a look
one or
at
two
that.
months.
That is a
So, yeah,
success. That is a successful story there. Whoa.
yeah,
That's super
yeah.
cool. I'm so glad for you. I'm super happy actually that actually happened to you because most of the teachers are in that breach, I mean, they don't know they don't know if it's okay to do it or not. They don't want to risk. but
Yeah.
they don't want to take that step just like the way you did. But I think everything starts because of a burnout. I mean, if you start like feeling like that burnout, or you feel like, no, I cannot sacrifice this salary. This is safety for me. This is my safety. This is my
Mm.
safe zone. So, and here everything starts there. So when you feel this burnout, then you start like becoming a little creative. It's like, what else can I do? And you start going and going, just like what happened to you. Do you know any other teacher who have actually gone through the same situation like you, or like, who have built up their
Um,
own stuff like that?
Not personally, but I've got to know quite a few people from social media, of course. So I become friends with some of them, and well, they are going through this same process. Um, but no, mostly the my friends from college are they're working at schools or at
Mm,
these academies. But one of them I know is planning to start her own online academy too. So,
yeah.
but in general, teachers of different areas at this school where I work, I've heard quite a few of them saying that they are planning or considering changing
Hmm.
jobs and working as whatever, but not a teacher.
Well,
So salaries are not good at all.
and it's also really curious to talk about salary also, because a lot of people actually maybe believe that the salary in Argentina is pretty low, or in Mexico, or in China, or in the United States it's really low, but it's quite the same story everywhere. Teachers are actually complaining about their salaries everywhere.
Mm,
No corner in the world has been left out from it.
mm,
Everyone is always like, hey, why am I getting paid this low? Why am I getting paid this? I mean, I don't deserve it. I do this, I do that. I go here, I go there. I don't sleep well. I have to keep on all the pressure, the psychological pressure of each student, individual student, with their psychological pressure, with their problems, and all of it comes to me. And it's like, this is all what I have to carry, and this is all what I have as a salary. It's like, it's not even worth it. So it's something that is happening all around the world. I've seen it and I've
mm,
heard it. For example, in this one, in LinkedIn, I've seen a lot of posts about teachers being burned out and giving a lot of tips on how not to be or moving out, which is really good. And that is actually something that we need to keep spreading. The burnout, it's part of it. You feel it, you change. That's the story that you're telling me right now. And
yeah.
obviously the money, survival, how do you actually mix that or balance it? Money, you need it. Survival, how do you survive with that? And then the
Mm,
passion, and then you're like, now it's like what you're telling me. Some of the teachers even they're even thinking about moving on. I mean, changing career. So they're just trying to take all the years and throw them to the garbage can and just start something new here. It's like something is not going well. And that was part one of More Than a Lesson Plan, the hidden life of teachers. And if your heart feels heavy right now, that's okay, because this work is heavy, but it's also beautiful, necessary, sacred. What Sol and I talked about today, the invisible task, the emotional toll, the behind the scenes reality, is just one part of the story. Because in part two, we go even deeper. We talk burnout, about money, about what it feels like to be in love with teaching, but exhausted by the system. Stay tuned for part two. So take a breath and then come back, because there's more to say, and teachers deserve to be heard all the way through.